Why, hello everybody, it is Kyle here from Unboxed Autos, and I'm super excited to be here with everybody today as we review and test drive the 2023 Maserati Grecale Modena edition. Now, the Modena is the mid-trim level, so the entry-level trim level is the GT. The Modena offers us a higher output four-cylinder engine, so that's one of the big differentiation points between the entry-level GT and this one right here. Of course, at the top trim level, they also make a Grecale Trofeo, which has the V6 twin turbocharged, over 500 horsepower, absolutely crazy power. Now, in this application right here, we are looking at a four-cylinder turbocharged engine with a mild hybrid 48-volt system. The output on this guy right here is 330 horsepower and 331 pound-feet of torque to 0 to 60 in a respectable 5.3 seconds. And it cost just under $75,000. Base price of this vehicle right here is $74,395. And, you know, it is a entry-level luxury SUV at the highest caliber. So Maserati, as everybody probably knows, is an Italian brand, and it was started quite a long time ago by five brothers there in Italy. And since there's been, of course, a lot of development with the brand, and now this really, though, is one of their newest vehicles, and it is really exciting to finally see Maserati have a car that really can come into its own and make a big difference. Now, some really cool styling points right here. First up, we have what I really love these wheels. I mean, Maserati's always been known for styling and this really accentuating style, and that's really comes clean right here with these beautiful wheels. They've almost been done here in what looks like a matte finish. It has a really neat machine face, flat face to it with, again, sort of this matte finish, really unlike any wheels I've seen in a very long time. And they look really cool. We also have blue brake calipers right here, so really think that's a nice addition, of course, as well. Of course, a lot of this is customizable, so if you prefer red, blue, what have you, you can choose to option those different colors. So a lot of customizability, of course, it being a Maserati, you have a lot of different options. I also love the intricate detail up here on the front headlights right here. As you can see, we have Maserati. We also have the Trident logo there on the LED beam on the side, and then these cool, nifty three different little LED accent lights, plus, of course, the full LED accent light right here in the front. But it really is just a cool headlight. I really like how they designed that. Looks really neat. Now, up front, we have this really large, imposing face. I absolutely love the large grille. Great for a lot of air intake there, for good cooling of the engine. And of course, we have the Trident logo right here front and center. But, you know, very aggressive, unmistakably Maserati. And of course, we have the Maserati logo right here as well. And yeah, so as you guys can see, of course, really just does distinguish the brand nicely, and really does update, in my opinion, the brand. This car looks very unique and unmistakably, again, Maserati, which I think is a fantastic thing. Now, in terms of the side profile of the vehicle, I really think it's pretty nifty looking. It's quite compact, so it looks pretty sporty, but it's still quite spacious on the inside. Of course, right here, we have the trim level spelled out. We have these three styled airport holes on the side up front, so it's a little bit of a sporty dimension there that I like. And then over here, my favorite feature on the side is the door handles that are flush. So they're actually electronically actuated. So when you want to go ahead and open the door, it is keyless, but I also just want to show you guys the cool key. It's actually done here in a leather, very nice key. I really like it a lot. So you go ahead and unlock, and then, yeah, it's just the door handle is, again, electronically actuated right there. Of course, it is keyless, so you can also just lock it there with the press of a finger. And oddly enough, though, you cannot lock from the rear or unlock from the rear. It is all just from the front passenger and driver's side door. Once again, right here, we have another Trident logo. This is done here in black, so it really stands out. And I really like this body panel right here. Beautiful curved line right here. Just super sleek down the side of the vehicle. Really like that. Nice flowing panel right here again. Down from the side, Maserati Trident logo. Again, noticing these really cool wheels. Still a blue in the rear as well. So you get, you know, all four. Get the coloring, which is really nice. Again, love these wheels. I think you guys would really like them too if you're able to see them here in person. But turning around here to the back, also really just love the rear of the vehicle. Beautiful side profile here as we wrap around. Right here we have these really nice LED lights right here We also have the reverse LEDs right here. Really, when at nighttime, this car really stands out. Really like it. Grecale, of course, right here. Dual exhaust. This car honestly sounds pretty good for being a 4-cylinder. You know, overall, again, really like what they did here. They've also diffused the rear here in a black, so it kind of gives this nice, you know, lower diffuser there in a black. Looks really nice and kind of sets the tone for this sportier profile here that you get with this trim. But yeah, overall, guys, I really think they did a nice job with the exterior styling here of the Grecale. Really stands out, and this was a nice, you know, base for them to build upon. This is going to be a very popular vehicle for them, as everybody probably knows. This is a very tight, compact segment. We have a lot of stiff competition. Porsche Macan is a big one that comes to mind. So very big category vehicle, and I think, you know, this car does differentiate itself nicely in terms of branding and styling, and it remains to be seen if people will be willing to pay a fairly large premium price over some of the other competition to get the Maserati nameplate. But that's not where it all stops. We have a lot of cool stuff to check out on the inside, so let's go ahead and do that now. Once you're inside the Grecale, you will be pretty impressed. It's really a nice design. This is the first time in quite a while that the Maserati interior designers had the chance to really build something of their own from the ground up, and it really shows and comes through nicely here on the interior. The door panels of themselves are pretty nice looking. At the top, we do have a nice soft leather with some stitching. Below that, we have some natural wood, so it's not that high gloss finish. It's more of a natural wood. We really like to see that. I think it brings out a lot more character of the wood and within the cabin. And then below that, of course, we have some more very nice soft leather right here within the door panel. We also have the speaker grills in here as well, and of course the window controls. And again, these doors are electronically actuated, so you have the door exit button really right here. It's a round circular button. Looks pretty nice. As far as the dashboard is concerned, once again, very nice. It's done in all leather all the way up to the top of the dashboard, so they didn't skimp out there. No plastics, nothing like that. All very nice, soft, high quality leather materials. I also really like the air vents. They look really neat, and they also have these cool little dials, these circular dials you turn to close off airflow if you so desire. So that's a pretty cool, nifty little function right there. For the driver display, we get a very crisp, very clear, reconfigurable digital display. Looks really great. It does change a little bit depending on if you're in comfort, GT, or sport mode in terms of the coloring, things like that. Of course, again, it's fully reconfigurable, so you can look at, you know, the map or just your speed, you know, tons of different options for you to really get the setup that you desire within the digital instrument cluster. The steering wheel itself, really like the steering wheel. It's a flat bottom steering wheel, so you get that racing inspired design. It's push to start on the steering wheel, which is definitely a nod to a sportier vehicle. We also have here the drive mode selector on the steering wheel as well. You just twist that dial and then it'll create. There's also the suspension button as well, so if you want the stiffer suspension, you can engage that for sportier driving. We also have, of course, the distance guided cruise control, lane keep assist, all of those fun features right here within the buttons here on the steering wheel. Column mounted paddle shifters, very large metal paddle shifters, really like those. So if you enjoy having a little bit of a sportier driving experience, shifting through the gears yourself, you can do that here with these really nice metal paddle shifters. Happy to see that carry through here within this Maserati SUV. Up here front and center, really cool reconfigurable digital clock. So within this right here, the clock, we have the classic look, the sport look, and then the design look. All of them are really cool, but the clock isn't just a clock really. You can also have it be a compass. You can have it show how much power or brake you're applying within the gas or brake pedal there. And then there's also a G meter as well if you're on the track and you want to check that out. But yeah, overall really nifty, really cool. I really like that. Super cool idea. Haven't really seen that before with the digital, you know, reconfigurable clock. So I think that's a nice touch. In terms of the multimedia system here, extremely clear, really like that. Wireless Android Auto, wireless Apple CarPlay, so you get all the connectivity that you could want. Pretty quick to respond, but I really do like, you know, in terms of the Android Auto capabilities, really crisp display, really is everything you could possibly want here on this large display. And again, the clarity is just ultra high, very, very good. Push buttons in terms of the drive selection. So reverse neutral drive, manual mode, all done here via buttons. Below that, we have the HVAC controls. Really like how it's set up. Very crisp, again, very clear, easy to read. We have the heated, cooled seats, heated steering wheel function. In terms of the rest of the interior and the quality, very nice fit and finish. I'd say it is, in terms of the fit and finish, average for this luxury segment. Very nice. I'd say in terms of material usage, it's a bit above average because we have a little more leather here, fewer plastics, and even like where your knee kind of rests here within this center console area. Very nice little Maserati logos here, indentations there as well. So really cool, nice place to spend time, very comfortable seating. So yeah, definitely lives up to that luxury SUV nameplate there in terms of the interior design, aesthetic, and materials used. So now let's go for a drive and see if this Grecale lives up to the Maserati name on the road. All right, so let's put her in drive there, and we are off. So once again, first things that you'll notice here that I personally really like is this digital instrument cluster. It is extremely clear, easy to read, and I like that they went with the two circular gauges. They didn't try and go and do anything super crazy. Sometimes people get a little bit carried away with that, and they try and do something that's just not classic, and it's too digital. It's too digital. Now, that being said, they actually do have a couple of different views, but I'm really happy that they've retained still this original circular gauge view. And once again, very clean, crisp display. Looks fantastic. Looks fantastic. So the displays in this car, top notch, very high quality. I like what they did with it. Funny enough, the blinker noise is a little bit loud. It's sort of like that old-fashioned clicking blinker noise, not the newer sounding digital blinker noise. That's just a very slight little thing that I've noticed. But yeah, in terms of, you know, once you're on the road, great, again, great flat bottom steering wheel. I love the column-mounted paddle shifters. Really does give you that sort of racing-inspired design and feel. Really do like that a lot. I really do like that a lot. Now, in terms of actual, you know, on-road driving dynamics, it's decent. It's decent. So it doesn't feel to me as planted on the road when you're doing some of those more dynamic maneuvers as, say, the Porsche Macan, but it still does give you a tight ride, nice responsive steering. So, you know, that's great, that's great. But, you know, if you're looking for something that's really, you know, performance focused, then I would say it would be best to go with the one-up trim from this one, which would be the Trofeo, which is just going to give you guys, you know, that V6, that more horsepower, and, you know, some improved dynamics. But for everyday driving, even a little bit of sporty driving, this is definitely, you know, plenty of car for everybody. Now, again, we're looking at a turbocharged 4-cylinder, 330 horsepower, 331 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 65.3 seconds. So, I mean, it's a quick car. There's no denying that. There's no denying that. In terms of the power, the responsiveness, nice low-end torque, you know, down low. I would say that this engine, this power plant in here, this Turbo 4, isn't quite as smooth and linear when you're really into the power as some of its competition. Say it's just a little bit choppier with how the power is delivered. You don't really notice it though unless you're really on it hard. Then you'll notice it a little bit, right? But again, it is a very nice engine, great transmission. The 8-speed in this is absolutely fantastic. And then, you know, you can just hop into manual mode and adjust manually with the paddle shifters. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I really Really do like that. Like, you know, coming into this turn here, it feels very good. So again, it's when you really are hitting it hard that you will kind of say, oh, okay, it's a little less settled than maybe some of the top competition in terms of handling dynamics, and you know, the power delivery could be a little bit smoother. But in terms of the transmission itself, great transmission, top of the line transmission, very, very nice. Plus, it does have, you know, those different drive modes. So in sport mode, obviously, it's a little bit more responsive, but almost in what I would call, the steering is very good. It's nice and tight still, retains a good feel to it. I really like it. The other thing that happens in sport mode is that the exhaust opens up. So, not gonna lie to you guys, this car, for being a 4-cylinder, has a really nice exhaust tone to it. You can really get into that, do some heavy shifts, you know, some near redline shifts in it, and it really does sound great. You know, you get a nice little popping off noise as you shift into the next gear, and it really does sound excellent for a 4-cylinder. Definitely much better than I expected it to, that's for sure. Inside, you know, it also doesn't sound whiny. The cabin noise is minimal, reduced nicely. So I'd say, you know, again, in terms of that luxury that we're going for, when I think of luxury, I also think of, you know, a car that's refined and quiet. The engine, this 4-cylinder, in terms of the sound, is very refined, very quiet. The interior is also nicely insulated in terms of cabin noise. So that's something to keep in mind that we definitely do like about it. So, you know, if you want something that's Italian, that has a lot of flair to it, that's different than what everybody else is driving out there, then I would say that this is a decent option for you guys if you want to consider something that's very unique and different. You know, it is a little bit pricier than some of the competition, but you also are getting the Maserati nameplate Italian car, which is definitely something special, and I think that they are hoping that does help them. But I do love that Maserati is out here. We have their first ever Grecale. This should be a popular vehicle for them overall. It's a fun car to drive. It looks really good. Nice interior, so good packaging. This will remain to be seen if people again are willing to pay that premium price for this vehicle. Well, that's all we have for you guys today. I hope you've enjoyed our review here on the 2023 Maserati Grecale. If you have any questions, please drop them below. We'll be happy to answer them. And until next time, I'm Kyle from Unboxed Autos.